Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And you know, it's one of them situations where we've seen a lot of things turn into disastrous dumpster fires for the Walt Disney Company under their Marvel umbrella, right? Marvel produced a lot of television shows and a lot of movies over the past few years that just haven't gone very well. And we know a lot of this stuff is kind of like left over from their diversity, inclusion, and equity kind of initiatives and a lot of the kind of crazy stuff that was going on inside of that company. Well, obviously, one of those big things that's coming out that is a very obvious version of that actually comes from the Marvel Now initiative, where they were forcing race swapping and gender swapping throughout all of the Marvel comics with all of the characters, was of course none other than Ironheart. And ladies and gentlemen, Marvel released the trailer just the other day, and it is not looking good. The Walt Disney Company has had a very bad rash of trailers getting ratioed over the last few years, and boys and girls, it's one of them situations where we know if a trailer is getting ratioed right from the very beginning out there, needless to say, it's going to end up turning into a disastrous dumpster fire for them, boys and girls. And if anybody had any doubt whatsoever that Ironheart was going to literally blow up in Marvel's face, well, I think this trailer ratio tells you everything you need to know. And we would get into the comment section. Well, I'll tell you what, they are accurate as all get out, because I have watched this trailer. I forced my beautiful chat to watch this trailer with me on our live streams that we do Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. the morning prep, where we go over all the pop culture nerd news and cut videos just like this. And needless to say, this thing is an abomination, and it has beat you over the head with reminding you how much of a genius Riri Williams is. Boys and girls, she's the bestest, fastest thing since sliced bread, and she's going to end up outpacing Tony Stark in every aspect. And of course, fans completely and totally reject this entire premise, just like they did in the comic book run as well. So we're going to check out this article from thatparkplace.com and, of course, jump over to the trailer itself and see the wonderful comments, and as well a friendly little history from our dear sweet Dispy Wispy, a.k.a. Disparoo, out there on where this character actually comes from and why everybody ends up calling them a thief. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 1,900. We are sailing our way towards 2K again over there on YouTube, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Will you be watching Ironheart? Did the trailer get you excited? Are we one of the people out there that liked it, or did this come off to you as like it did the majority of people out there as just another diversity, inclusion, and equity, race swapping, gender swapping nonsense garbage? Which, of course, she's the bestest, fastest ever women power Mary Sue that you've ever seen. Let us know what you think about this in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. Think about becoming a member. Will you get your name at the end credits of every single one of these videos and all of our live streams, as well as get access to a bunch of cool emojis, and of course access to our member streams where you get to hang out with a bunch of other nerds and myself and talk about all kinds of fun nerd and geeky things. So please consider checking that out in the description down below. And the really funny part about this whole situation, too, is it's just like, who wouldn't have expected this? Who didn't see this coming, ladies and gentlemen? Obviously, Disney Marvel at the time, before the purge of all the activists, I guess. I don't know. But needless to say, Disney spent a lot of money on this thing, and it is not going to go very well at all. Ironheart dislikes surge as Marvel's latest Disney Plus trailer gets ratioed on YouTube. Marvel Studios is facing a wave of backlash as the Ironheart trailer continues to get pummeled with YouTube dislikes. What was meant to be a bold new chapter in the MCU is now shaping up to be one of its most poorly received launches yet. And I mean, seriously, if Daredevil Born Again couldn't chart on the Nielsen ratings, what does anyone expect out of Ironheart? And just to be completely and totally honest for all of you guys out there, we do a review show on Thursday nights called Is It Good with my friend Sunker Maiden and myself, and I am going to have her watch this show and review it with me. So if you would like to watch me come torture my friends and myself while we absolutely roast this show into oblivion, please join us on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and come at June when this show comes out, because it's going to be a really good time, and at least we'll be very much informed when we tell you how much of a hot, abysmal pile of dumpster garbage this thing actually is, which is clearly what the fans already think concerning the ratio on the YouTube. As of this writing, the trailer sits at 153,000 likes to 231,000 dislikes, and the gap is only widening. These Ironheart dislikes point to a clear fan sentiment as viewers make their dissatisfaction impossible to ignore. It's not just a poor showing, it's a ratio that's almost on the scale of Disney's Snow White reboot. And oh, yes, boys and girls, like I said, it's an absolute abomination over here. We're currently still sitting at 250,000 down votes to 159,000 up votes as well. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy how bad things have gotten for this. And the thing's only been out, I mean, it's on number 2 on trending. It's got over 6 million views already. And that's literally like within less than like 24 hours. And it's already at almost over 250,000 of dislikes. And this is the best part, right? Because the comment section is going to give you a lot of examples as to what was so bad about the trailer. That's why it's a beautiful thing when they're actually brave enough to leave this thing open. And you're going to see a lot of repeating behaviors here. Because if you actually watch the trailer, which I also sympathize with you, I feel bad that you watched it as well. You will understand that if you watch this trailer, right, it literally talks about the fact she's like, you literally get like it's like a 2-minute trailer. And you get like 4 scenes of people reiterating how much of a genius Riri Williams is. You also see this little girl, probably weighs 110 pounds, sopping wet, literally peel a metal bar off the inside of an elevator and then use it as a leverage to jam open the bottom of an elevator. Also, she can get her little bitty fingers under it. Also, she can lift it all the way up over her head, opening the door and escaping instead of doing the things the way that she was instructed to do them. She had to do it her own way. Like, it was so ridiculous and unbelievable. I mean, you watch her skinny little arms push this thing up and you're like, really? 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 But here we go. Here's the comments section. I want to create something iconic. Create something that's already exists. Yep, literally. And I'm sorry, the suit looks stupid. Those big old shoulder pad little pointing thingies off the top. I don't know if they were trying to go for some like, I don't know, Gundam inspiration or whatever it was, but it looks like absolutely absolutely hot garbage. Pro tip, keep your expectations low so you won't be disappointed. Absolutely. Spartan, a common comment that we see a lot about this. I'm generally impressed they haven't disabled the comment section. Gotta love how the elevator was filling with some unknown gas, so she willingly made sparks from the wires twice. I mean, literally, how much of a genius is she? Well, she just calculated and decided it was better to take the risk than do as she was told and try to solve the puzzle that she was given? No. She had to do it her way and could have been literally in the process, quite literally blown herself up. Black character appears on screen. The music, it's rapping time. I mean, literally, yeah, it was nothing. It was no iconic Marvel superhero music that you're used to in the past. No, it was literally just nothing more than your generic, like, hip-hop theme. Like, it just wasn't very good at all. And I love this from Black Wolf. As an electrician, I too use my teeth to remove wire isolation, which I actually have seen some guys do it. I love this. Trailer team. What kind of music you want for the trailer? Marvel. Stereotype, please. Yeah, I love this. This one's great. This one, listen to this from Charlie right here. Do you guys get the point that she's a genius? I don't know if everyone got that. She's a genius, guys. Just in case you missed it, that may be a genius. She is, because she's a genius. Being a genius. That shows how genius she is. That's truly genius. Genius. And it is. Like, you literally get, like, one of the opening scenes is, you know, I get it, Riri. You've been waiting for a long time to be able to express your genius and show off everybody how amazing you are. And then, like, there's another one. She's at MIT and the professor tells her, you know, you're not the first genius to come to MIT. And there's like literally like 3 other scenes where this happens. It's literally beats you over the head. Everybody wants you to know how genius this person is. And one of the big problems with this is you're going to have a smart female character that everybody knows is like an absolute genius and is the smartest person in the room, but you don't have to beat the head over it. I always use this example. This is one of my favorite examples. If you saw the Black Adam movie, right, which I know a lot of people didn't, but I really enjoyed it, right? Not a great Black Adam movie, but a pretty good JSA movie, right? One of the actresses in there was this little mixed girl, very pretty, very girl, but she was like the granddaughter or grandchild of like the red tornado, right? So she's the new version of the tornado. They tell you right from the get-go, in the beginning of the movie, right? You're doing the Amanda Waller crawl where you're going down through there and they're giving you the background on all of the different peak characters and all the different players in the movie and all that kind of stuff. And they get to her, right? And they tell you she's an absolute genius, IQ off the charts, yada, yada, yada. She could have totally came in and been girl boss to the nines, get out of my way, you stupid guy, I've got this, yada, yada, yada. None of that. None of that at all. The guy that plays the grandson of like Giant Man or the nephew of Giant Man or whatever it was out there that was played by like Henry Winkler, I think. Shout out to that kind of stuff. Shout out to Happy Days. But needless to say, they have a great little scene between the two of them, right? Where she's in there and she's at the computer and she's fixing something, right? And he goes up to her and he goes, wow, you're really smart. He goes, I don't think I could ever do that. And she's like, oh no, it's really not that hard. She's like, anybody could learn it, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, she's totally humble about it, right? And like, that's the only scene you ever really see where her like genius is talked about it or any of that kind of stuff. She's very humble. She's not arrogant in any way, shape, or form. She's a great example of how you can make a strong, very successful female character who really is probably the smartest person in the room in a lot of cases, and her not come off as a girl boss Mary Sue. That's how you do it. That is not what you are getting in this Ironheart trailer at all. It's literally everybody around her is constantly praising her about how much and reminding her how much of a genius she is. It's sickening, it's disgusting, and this is what we talk about when we say what is woke. It's when they beat you over the head with the agenda or their point they're trying to make. You know, this black girl from the hood, she's the smartest thing ever. She's a genius. She's a genius. She's a genius. It's literally beating you over the head. Why not show us that she's a genius? Why not show us her creating things? Why not show us her going out there and making her own tech and making her own way and building a successful business and raising herself up by her bootstraps? Why not show us? Because they don't know how to write an actual strong female character properly. All they know how to do is tell you, because that's a cheap and easy way to do it for writers that are absolute hacks and can't give you a good quality story out there. Ironheart getting more screen time than War Machine ever did. It's crazy. From Greendale to MIT. Way to go, Dean. This is the marketing equivalent of pull your parachute as late as possible and hope you stick the landing. You're 17. You deserve to be recognized for your greatness. That's right. You're just a teenage kid. The beginning of the trailer almost made me think this is the trailer for the new Saw movie. That would have been a much better option. They called her super smart and amazing 3 times in the first minute and a half of this trailer. LOL, I thought she was going to build a suit and said inside the elevator. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps. Riri, black girl magic. And stealing, boys and girls, and stealing. Don't believe me. And apparently Disparu didn't actually know this about the character prior to it, because if you actually knew the character from the comic books, you'll know she stole her tech from Tony Stark. Stole it. Did not create her own suit. Did not do it from a pile of scraps in a cave. No. She stole the tech from Stark. So as Disparu here points out, I was just kind of joking that Ironheart was a criminal thieving scum, but even the Marvel website says the source material has her being filth. Suppose genius can't even make enough money for her own suit. In a secret room, in secret with stolen goods. As you can see here with the tech, not even building it on your own. But yeah, Riri, although Riri has no superhuman abilities, i.e. probably shouldn't have been able to push that elevator door up on her own, her extreme intelligence places her among the smartest people in the world. Did you know that she's a genius? Did you know how smart she was? She uses her gift to create armor in order to become a superhero. Well, she has to steal it first. And look, the trailer's not any better over on IGN. IGN's gotten ratio in oblivion. Now, obviously not as many, but obviously there's only been 96,000 views over there on IGN. But 12,000 dislikes to only 2,000 likes. 10,000 more dislikes. And the comic section is not going to be better over here. Don't forget, we already got Black Iron Man and Tropic Thunder. There you go. From the director of Wakanda Forever. Yeah, that's not a flex. They copy my whole flow, word for word, bar for bar, said Iron Man. Yeah, they literally rip it all off. The fact that she gets her own spinoff before War Machine, an actual character that people enjoy, is crazy. Amen to that, Diz. Wants to build something in a comic, proceeds to build Iron Man. Yeah, exactly. Brave released this trailer on the same day as Superman. Oh yeah, the Superman trailer is blowing this thing out of the water. It is not even close. Fans are loving the Superman trailer for the most part. There's a few criticisms I see out there on the internet, but for the general audience, the like to dislike ratio through the roof. That thing is absolutely crushing it out there, and I love this. I like the part where she says the power of one, the power of two, the power of iron. I love it. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, The Acolyte, because that one's not coming back. Now, obviously, we can go back and talk about the fact that this is not new. Obviously, Snow White got ratioed into oblivion. We obviously did those videos quite a lot, talking about all of that. Obviously, that movie failed miserably at the box office, which is the pattern of example here that I'm trying to point out. This trailer is getting ratioed, so unless something changes in the next trailer, which it probably won't before the series comes out, this show is going to flop miserably. Sorry, if Daredevil Born Again couldn't chart, neither is Riri Williams over there with her Ironheart. So there's actually a little thing here. They try to connect it, right? She says, where the former Iron Man offered her 2 thumbs up, talking about how, Tony Stark, he totally thinks it's okay. Robert Downey Jr. thinks it's totally fine. It's totally fine. The remarkable remark backfires. Thorne also stirred reactions with a quote meant to highlight Riri's scrappy origins. She's a dumpster diving, whereas Tony Stark was this bajillionaire. What she's able to accomplish is remarkable. Once again, completely and totally ignoring that Tony Stark built his first suit in a desert cave with a pile of scraps. Did this guy even see the first Iron Man movie? Let's be completely honest. And Disney already knows this show's going to be a flop, right? They're literally dropping the first 3 episodes right away. And it's only a 6-episode series. And it was supposed to be like a 9 to 10 episode series. So they scrapped like a third of this show, and they're dropping half of it on the first day it comes out. Yeah, needless to say, Sunker and I are not going to have a good time on that first week. And they're only 30-minute episodes. They couldn't come up with 9 30-minute episodes from all the garbage they had already shot for this show. This thing is going to be a disastrous dumpster fire. The surge in Ironheart dislikes is more than just online noise. It's a clear message from audiences who feel like they're being sold a product, not a story. The attempt to wrap Riri Williams and Tony Stark's shadow, inflate hype with empty symbolism, and ignore genuine fan feedback is exactly why trust in Marvel has eroded. Ironheart was supposed to represent the next generation of Marvel heroes, but if the trailer is any indication, it may represent something else entirely, a studio that no longer listens. Well, I wouldn't say it's a studio that no longer listens, it's a studio that did not listen for a very long time. That's why we're getting Ironheart. This isn't something that Kevin Feige has developed in the last 3 years or in the last year or something like that. This isn't something that since the purge of last year, the reported purge back there in March of last year, this is something that got put out there. No, this is something that's literally been on the shelf and in the can for like 3 years. And it's just like Echo. It's just like Echo. They're dumping a bunch of it all at once. Echo, they knew it was so bad, they dumped it all on one day. Why would they do that when every other Marvel release has been week to week to week? Because they knew it was going to be bad. And their only hope for it, any chance whatsoever for it to chart over there on the Nielsen ratings was to dump the entire thing at once. And even then, Echo couldn't do it. Ironheart, they're doing the exact same thing. They are dumping all 3 episodes at once, hoping that at least the premiere will be able to chart on the Nielsen ratings so they can put a little feather in their cap and they can get headlines from the mainstream media that'll trick their investors into thinking that Disney is still doing a good job of handling all of the IPs and everything that they're responsible for. They're not, and they haven't been for a very long time. This is a stupid trick, and it's not going to work. If Daredevil Born Again couldn't pull it off with a 2-episode situation, you're certainly not going to be able to pull it off with Ironheart. This show is going to be an abomination, and all of the fans know it. She's a rip-off, cheap imitation of a much better character out there who literally starts off as nothing more than a thug in the hood who, by the trailer's own sayings, is going to do some morally dubious things in order to become iconic. Like literally, they're saying she's not that you can be a stand-up person, not that you can have morals and values and stick to your guns on those things and succeed. No, in order for you to actually succeed, the only way to become iconic is to do some morally gray things. Yeah, that's the example everybody really wants from their Marvel heroes. That's the example parents want to pass down to their children as part of the example of the heroes that Marvel is supposed to represent and the morals and values that these characters are supposed to stand up with. No. We knew this thing was going to be a disastrous dumpster fire right from the get-go, but this was when Marvel was in full-bore diversity, inclusion, and equity mode. That's the only reason this show got produced. That's the only reason this thing is happening. That's the only reason she got shoehorned in to Wakanda Forever. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I cannot wait till this show premieres because these ratings are going to be a disastrous dumpster fire. Sunker and I are going to have a beautiful drunken time roasting and destroying this show as it properly deserves. And you know what the best part is? Kevin Feige, You danced with the devil. You sold your soul to the diversity, inclusion, and equity cult. And Ironheart is a prime example of that. It is a prime product of what you did and the deal you made. And now this thing is going to turn into a disastrous dumpster fire. One much like what Riri Williams stole her tech from. It's going to be egg on your face, Kevin Feige. You're going to get roasted into oblivion, and this show is going to be another hundreds of millions of dollars failure on Disney Plus. And I, for one, cannot wait, because after all, Feige, you did it to yourself, and now you're going to get exactly what you deserve.